Alright, welcome back to Hot Topics TV, y'all. Yo, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let's get right into the story. Boosie, Lil Boosie's daughter, came out on social media. Seems that she is a part of the LGBTQ community, and headlines are saying that the internet thinks that it's karma. Now, I'll go over to allhiphop.com. Y'all could go over there too and read the whole article for yourself, but I'm going to use this article just so I could drop my commentary. This just to give us some guidelines about what it is I'm talking about. Okay, so Boosie's daughter has come out madly in love with a woman, because that's what the picture captioned on IG when she posted it. Madly in love with you. What will Mr. Badass say? We call him Mr. Badass because when he first came out, he was called Boosie Badass. He was much younger then, and he was wild. He was off the chain and all that other stuff. Now, as he has grown, he dropped the little because he ain't little no more. He's a grown man, so now it's just Boosie. That's a little history for y'all. But anyhow, the internet is a beast. Everybody has something to say. And people like Boosie, they have something to say all the time. But why not? Boosie has been criticized for taking a stance against the gay community. I gotta listen. I got some opinions that might be very strong, but hang on in there. I'm going through the article. Boosie has been criticized for taking a stance against the gay community, and his specific comments about Dwayne Wade's transgender daughter, Zaya, that has caused some folks anyways, to write him off. The streets ain't writing Boosie off. Boosie's self-made in the streets, and that is why the industry cannot write him off. They tried though, but it doesn't work. That man get his out the mud for real. Anyhow, now it seems as though his 21-year-old daughter, Poison Ivy, has come out the closet with a woman, and they seem to be madly in love. From what I understand, her being gay is not a shocker or a surprise to those that know, those that are in the know. It is for me though. It is for me too. Either way, I couldn't care less. Love who you want. And I don't think most people would care either. But since Boosie has had some strong opinions about the LGBTQ plus life, it's become a headline, because now people are saying, well, goddamn, all the stuff you had to say, and now look, your own daughter came out gay. On top of that, he has openly laced up his opinion, gave it to the public, to the point where both Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade have had to clap back at him on social media. But make no mistake, Boosie clapped right back with a full clip, emptied the whole clip. Anyhow, Gabby even suggested that Boosie is secretly gay. Well, you know. Anyways, the internet called for people to go back and rub it in his face, since he was so critical of people like Lil Nas X and Dwayne Wade's child and Dwayne Wade and his handling of the situation and all that. Boosie also has commented that he would never attend his daughter's wedding if she were to marry a lesbian woman. The irony is crazy. I cannot wait for him to say something. This is very interesting. Let's hear what he is going to say. Let's talk about it. Boosie once said, "Gotta teach my daughter how to fight and keep my child away from dykes." His lyrics. I think that didn't work out too well. That did not age too well. Boosie's daughter finally comes out, and I wish everyone floods his timeline, because we need the same energy he gave Lil Nas, or we need an apology, is what some of the people out there are saying. Okay, here's my opinion and my take on the whole thing. So, when the machine is behind you, there's very little that anybody that the machine is not behind can actually say. In other words, there's a lot of money pumped into people like Lil Nas X. They don't just own the spotlight. They don't just cultivate the spotlight for themselves, and they own major networks that put them on there. If you look at it, right, they can cancel him overnight. I'm talking about major headlines will disappear. His records will stop selling numbers. Big shows won't get booked anymore. Do I need to point to an example of who they've done that to before? Okay, so when you go against somebody like that, you got all the trolls and you got all the fans who are mesmerized by this person who is on top. They're going to come back at you, right? Okay. Boosie ain't never said, I have never heard him say, I hate gay people. I have never heard him say, I don't like the LGBTQ community. Matter of fact, let's be honest and let's be fair. That man said, I have nothing against gay people. As a matter of fact, one of his managers is gay that manages his career and his finances. So why would I put my trust in a person like that if I hate those types of people, so to speak, right? I work closely with gay people. I got gay people that work for me. I employ them. I pay them. I create jobs for them, which in turn helps them, their lifestyle, and their family. That doesn't sound like somebody that hates gay people. But you know, the internet is going to have its way and people are going to spin the narrative. And it's always good to see somebody who sits on a high horse gets taken down. They build you up and then they tear you down, and they enjoy tearing you down and then ripping you apart. So what I remember specifically about Lil Nas X, I'm going to talk about Dwayne Wade's daughter and Boosie's opinion on that as well. What I remember specifically about Lil Nas X was he came on to perform live on a music award show that, as long as I've known this music awards show, it has been a family affair. It's something that you get a popcorn ready, you know, you get your ice cream, your little snacks ready, your drinks ready, and everybody pile up in the living room, sit on a couch, and we watch this. Now, here's the thing. That has changed, apparently, but nobody got the memo. Nobody said, okay, it's going to be an adult show, so take your little children out the room. So when you have a grown man show up on stage in thongs and he is gyrating, simulating sex on another man and putting his tongue in another man's mouth, and you have your children, your small children sitting there watching that, and they are confused because they're like, Daddy, what's this? I don't understand this, right? I'm saying, isn't it fair to give these babies a warning, or to give the parents a warning so they could know? That man didn't say he was against the show. He said he was against the timing of that show and what they chose to put on the show, because that show was supposed to be a family show. You can't tell people that this is a family show, and when the show starts and I done put my whole family in front to watch it, you bust out with some soft porn. That's wrong. But we live in a world where you cannot speak the truth. It's better for you to go with the agenda before they try to tear you down or make your platform disappear. As you can see, Boosie has been canceled many times on many different platforms. His account's been taken away, all that other stuff. It still never stops him from getting to the bag, though. It still never stops him from getting money. It still never stops him from owning land and property. And it still never stops him from providing for his family. Why? Because he is not dependent on those who he speaks against. Those who are dependent on those who they speak against have to stay quiet, because if you speak up, you already know you're about to starve, or you're going to have to find another way to eat. That's just my opinion, right? And we giving out opinions over here. No disrespect to anybody. Now, Dwayne Wade's situation, I mean, what Boosie said about that as well, if you think about it, children are children until children become adults. That's not up for debate. That's factual. A child is a child until that child hits the marker of an adult. In the United States of America, it's 18. 18 years old is the age where you are able to vote legally. It's the age where you're able to join the military and go off and fight for your country. It's the age where you are able to go to the liquor store. Well, not the liquor store, because they changed that to 21. We always wondered, how come I could sign a contract for the military, go off and fight a war, but I can't get a drink when I come back to the States? I could get a drink overseas, though, because they start off at 18. Now, that's neither here nor there. But you can go get a pack of cigarettes. You can purchase tobacco products legally, and you can also purchase firearms legally. It's 18. So all Boosie said, because Dwayne Wade is saying, Let's transfer this child. Let's get everything rolling and going. And all Boosie is saying, listen, man, don't cut. Remember when he did that funny ass, don't cut a dick off, man. Don't cut his dick off. Okay, what Boosie was really saying was wait till he turns 18. After he turns 18, which is the adult marker for us in the United States of America, and he decides that, yes, this is what I want to do. I want to go on hormones. I want to cut that stuff off of me. I want to completely change myself into a female completely. Then that's all up to him. And nobody will hate on him for doing it. Boosie said he won't. It's just his choice of what he wants to do. But you don't do that to him as a child. What if he changes his mind later on? You know what I look at that as? I look at it like circumcision. There's a big deal out here about circumcision of a female, right? So we're having all these save the females in Africa that are being circumcised. However, no one is saying save the males in the US that are being circumcised. See, you cut away that piece of the male organ that God created him with, that he is born with, and then there's no way to replace it throughout his whole life. Right? There's no way to replace it. So it's not like when you snip it off, it's going to grow back. And then he gets older and he's like, I don't like it. I'm going to cut it off anyways. He will never know what it feels like to actually have it. It will never, ever grow back. And I could tell you that it's the most sensitive part of the organ. And it serves other purposes as well. You just have to keep up with the hygiene of having it. Anyhow, with that said, that man didn't say nothing wrong. He said what he said, and there are a lot of people that agree with what he said. I'm a father myself, and if my children were supposed to make these kinds of decisions, I would definitely look at them and tell them, listen, wait until you're an adult. When you get to an adult age and you still feel the same way, then by all means, you're an adult. Go ahead and do what adults do, which is govern your own life. Take your own responsibility on, make your own decisions, and deal with the consequences of those decisions. Right? All right. That's what I'm saying. So the fact that his daughter came out as gay or posted a picture with a female, says I'm madly in love with you, and the internet is saying, oh, they think it's karma. Y'all tripping. Y'all think Boosie didn't know this already? He been know that. He been knew that his daughter was that way. He never had a problem with it. If he had a problem with it, he would have never been a good father to her. There are many pictures out there of him and her flexing in what many would call a masculine energy, and him and her chopping it up and having fun just as she is. She didn't put on a dress and smooth it down and try to pretend like she is a soft female to please her father, and then behind his back she turned up like a dude, put on men clothing and acted like a stud. She didn't do that. She's been herself all along, and he's seen it all along, and it ain't never been a problem to him. But again, the internet is going to always go off, spin the narrative, because the real story is never as enticing as what the made up narrative is. That's my opinion. Now, if you like more of these opinions and whatnot, you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click the bell next to it so you're notified every time a new video goes up on Hot Topics TV. And I'll catch y'all on the next video. I'm out. Peace.